Hi Virgo, happy birthday and welcome to your September 2020 Astrology 33 love reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. As far as personal readings go, I'm actually going to be taking a bit of a break from those, probably for at least the next month, but if I do change my mind, I'll make an update in the community section of the channel. And as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread, and the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. These are the past energies, present energies, future energies, and once we get through all those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And also keep in mind, this is just a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy. If you feel more like the cards on the left represent the other person's energies and the cards on the right represent yours, then definitely trust that as well. All right? So, past energy on your side, we have the Ace of Arrows. So this usually represents some kind of a sudden truth coming forward. Now, usually for me, it's more of something that comes into your mind as opposed to you actually communicating this truth, but it certainly can be something that you might have communicated to the person. And I do feel like this was a bit of a type of an epiphany moment for you guys, just especially with this deck in particular. We see the lightning in the background there. That makes me think of like that Uranus type energy. So that's what I'm seeing there. You guys just might have had a sudden insight toward the connection. Maybe your feelings for this person might have come out of the blue, right? Where maybe you guys might have just been friends, for example, and then all of a sudden you come to the realization, oh wow, I actually have a thing for this person. So that's what I'm seeing there. Past energy on their side, we have the wheel. So this is actually the equivalent to the Wheel of Fortune in traditional tarot, which is Sagittarius energy. Can just be saying that, maybe they were going through a bit of a lucky cycle in the past. Maybe they had a lot of options as well, since we see multiple people in the frame there. But it could have just been someone that you felt comfortable with as well, because for you guys, Sagittarius energy is your fourth house. So I could just say that you had a lot of comfort and familiarity with the person. But yeah, I will say that the main vibe that I'm picking up on here is that maybe they just had a lot of options, and maybe there wasn't necessarily a commitment between the two of you, and then of course if you weren't necessarily communicating interest as well, then that necessarily wouldn't have helped the situation either. But that's what I'm seeing there. Present position on your side, we have Fortune. So basically the exact same energy they have in the past position, except you guys have it in the present. So it could just be saying that the energy is shifting for you now in a positive way as well. And, seeing this come up twice, it does remind me of the fact that in September, Jupiter is going to start going direct again. And Jupiter is actually in your fifth house of romance and creativity. So, could it just even be where maybe you guys get some kind of a spark creatively thinking about this person? You might write something about them. You might actually, or maybe you'll hear something on the radio that makes you think of the person. These are just kind of things, because what stands out to me with this artwork is clearly that doesn't look like a person that's actually in the room with her, right? It just looks like an entity. So given that she's holding an instrument, that's what I'm feeling there. Like you just might get some kind of signs and synchronicities that make you think about this person. Like I said, they might actually spark your creativity while you're thinking about this person. But that's what I'm seeing there. And like I said, with Jupiter moving forward this month, if there was some kind of blockage within the connection too, it might actually start to pick up steam this month. All right, present energy on their side, we have the Queen of Wands, which is Aries energy, the Sun, which technically doesn't, it's technically not a Leo card per se, but Leo is ruled by the Sun, so it can point to that. And then we have the Two of Cups, which is Cancer energy. So at the very least, it looks like this person definitely is interested. The Queen of Wands, for you guys especially, that's your 8th house, Aries energy. So, obviously we have Mars there. It's going to be there until the end of the first week of January. So, it's going to start its retrograde cycle this month. But yeah, that could point to a lot of passion and sexuality and the connection. And then with the Sun as well, the Sun to me adding a bit more of that playful love vibe to it too, as opposed to just something that's more strictly sexual. And then with the Two of Cups energy as well, so it seems like there's like a good mix here of a passionate desire for you, but also like a genuine love connection as well. So that's what I'm seeing there. Um, this can represent their progression as well, where, like I said, for those of you where maybe this person had multiple interests, this could be them narrowing down those options too and really, coming to an awakening. The reason the awakening card comes to mind is in this deck, the Sun card is actually called the Awakening. So that's what makes me think, maybe they're awakening to the fact that, hey, actually would like to be in a one-to-one connection. And if that's the case, it looks like it would be with you. So that's what I'm seeing there. And future energy on your side, we have the Queen of Coins. So this is actually Capricorn energy. So again, for you guys, your fifth house, right? A lot of fifth house energy. And like I said, maybe it's just one of those things where the Jupiter retrograde going through that house might have slowed things up for you guys as far as your love life goes. And now as that goes direct, especially given that this is in the future position, could just be saying that it helps restore your confidence, right? Because fifth house is about confidence as well. So could just be saying that you're confident to go after what you want. And I feel like the energy that I'm almost getting from this card is the way she's holding that pentacle out, right? But then she's kind of sitting with her body language where she's leaning in, but also she also has that path to leave if she needs to. So I'm getting like a kind of a take it or leave it vibe, but not in a negative way, just saying that you're confident and, hey, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want, right? And if I'm not going to get that, I'm fine with walking away. So, I don't think it's being said in an egotistical way at all, just more of a genuine, confident way, like, hey, I know this is what I deserve, right? And then if you're willing to work toward that, great. If not, I'm good too. So that's why I feel like the energy you guys are going to be in there in the future. And on their side, we have the Two of Swords. So this is actually Libra energy here. So maybe you guys are dealing with Libra, but again, this could just be a timeline thing too, which as we get to the end of September, that actually will be in these degrees of Libra. This represents the first 10 degrees of Libra. So it could just be saying that an offer is made around that time. And this could be going a couple different ways, which is to say, for some of you, maybe it's you making the offer to this person, right? But for others, you could just be one of those things where it says that maybe they're not offering as much as, again, like I was saying there, if you guys are standing in your value, like, hey, this is what I deserve, this is what I want, right? And being sure and confident in yourselves. And if you feel like they're not offering enough, right? Like he's just offering her the single rose and she looks like she's not really feeling it. That could just be the energy that they're into. So, it could be one of those things where they might come forward with something, but if you feel like it's not good enough, then you guys might have to talk that out. I don't necessarily feel like this would be a flat out rejection, but more of like a negotiating point, basically. However weird that sounds. Bottom of the deck on your side, we have the King of Staves, which is the equivalent of the King of Wands, Leo energy again, right? And for you guys, that's your 12th house. So what's interesting me with that is, for one, Venus will, basically be moving through Leo for a pretty good chunk of September, and that's your 12th house. And not only that, we did have Mercury just moving through there as well. So what this kind of says to me is that what stands out to me is the way the trees in the background there look pretty dead, right? So I feel like this is just pointing to you guys have really probably thought this through for a long time. And that's kind of what I was picking up on there too, where I was saying with the Ace of Arrows, like you might not have expressed what you were feeling. Like I feel like you had that epiphany and that insight, like, wow, I'm really into this person. For whatever reason, I feel like you didn't communicate that though. And then that's what I'm saying. This could go either way, but this might be your shift and you actually coming out with that confidence now to speak to them. And then obviously it looks like they're definitely into it, right? So, but that could be what this is representing here. And then, like I said, if it hasn't already happened with all the energy that's going to be passing through your 12th house, you know, with Venus, it could be pointing to that too, where this is just something you've mulled over in your mind for a really long time without necessarily coming forward. But it looks like you will be moving forward from that though, because we do have the Nine of Cups here too. So this is another indicator for me that you guys are going to have that energy and confidence. This representing your opposite sign too. But what I always say with this Nine of Cups, as opposed to, pretty much most Nine of Cups, the person looks very content and happy with what they have, right? But here I almost feel like it's a combination of that energy, but also taking action to manifest that Ten of Cups, right? Because if we think about that like rainbow type thing she has going there, and in the Ten of Cups, we see the rainbow with the couple. So to me, it's like not just, you're content with what you have, you're happy with yourself, but also you're doing things to manifest that Ten of Cups coming into your life. So that's what I see there. So could this represent you guys taking action after just really thinking things over for a long time? And then the bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Six of Chalices, which is the equivalent of the Six of Cups. So, this is an energy of reminiscing, sometimes reconciling, yes, but especially with the artwork in this deck, I think about the reminiscing aspect more than anything. Like this almost reminds you that I'm looking at a picture of the two of you maybe from the past, right? And just thinking back on the good times. So obviously this is still a positive energy, but could this be as simple as them reminiscing as opposed to a physical reconciliation? And then, interestingly enough, bottom of the deck beneath that, for them too, we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is Virgo energy, but also, represents that stability, commitment, right? So completion. So pretty positive energy there too. So, all things considered, it looks like this will go well. Like I said, it could have just been as simple as maybe you didn't communicate to this person in the past, or maybe even you were trying to feel them out because if you weren't sure what was going on with their situation, if they seem to have multiple people around, could have just been a timing thing in that regard. Like I said, it might have even just been as simple as the Jupiter retrograde that might have put things to a halt for you guys, given that it's going through your fifth house. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. We'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix, though. First, we'll see if we get anything from the Mystic Moon Oracle deck here. I did pre-shuffle this deck, and then what I'm looking for is just some jumpers. So first I'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if we shuffle for a while and nothing comes up, we'll just take that as a sign to move on, since it's just a general reading. And then we'll go to the next Oracle deck. But we'll see if we get anything. Oh, okay, got 3, it looks like. And then we'll see if we have any from them to you now. Nope, okay, got 1 there. So let's see what we have. All right. Okay. We have, I want to be authentic. I am no longer afraid. So, I could totally see that with the whole Ace of Swords energy there, where, like I was saying, you guys might have come to that epiphany that, wow, I'm really into this person, but I did pick up on that vibe for a lot of you that you might not have communicated that necessarily. And then, like I was saying here, I was getting that vibe of confidence with the 3 cards we see here. So maybe you guys just get that confidence boost this month. Okay, next we have something is still missing for me, and I'm trying to figure out what that is. Interesting message there, too, right? Now, definitely a different vibe from that. But, well, not necessarily, right? I guess that could be, for some of you, even what you do want to communicate to this person, right? Like, hey, the reason why I haven't necessarily spoken up is because I'm, something's still missing for me and I'm trying to figure out what that is, right? So it could be as simple as that, just being honest with them, like, hey, if you're wondering why I've been MIA, haven't really been communicating, it's because this is what I'm going through, right? Let's see what else we have. And then I can't seem to find the right words to say to you. So in a way, they seem like different messages, but I actually can see the 3 of them working together, where you're like, okay, I just need to come out, tell this person that I have something going on, right, that might not even have anything to do with them, but then not necessarily having, the right words to say. So that could be what's causing that hesitation for you. Like, okay, how do I, bring this up to this person, right? Especially if it's something that you can't even define necessarily, if there's something missing for you and you're trying to figure that out. So, interesting messages there. I mean, for some of you, these can be totally different, separate things where maybe, for some of you, this one resonates, but then these two, no, or, you get the idea. But yeah, that's what I see on that side. And then on their side, we have, I know I screwed things up and honestly have no idea how to fix it. Interesting there. I didn't necessarily pick up on that energy of them necessarily having done something wrong. I mean, I will say that Two of Swords energy kind of has that vibe to it in a way, right? Where they're coming forward with that single rose, and she's like, yeah, I'm not feeling it, right? So maybe they did do something in the past that caused all this. I mean, I'm not really picking up on negativity, though. So that's the only tricky part. But obviously, for someone out there, this might resonate. Yeah, and I mean, maybe it was just one of those things where, in a way, I don't know, maybe the disconnect between the two of you in the past was what messed things up, between you not necessarily speaking up, and then if they just made it seem like, oh, I'm interested in multiple people, right, then obviously that's not necessarily a productive energy for a connection from either side. So that could be what's at play there too. But we'll see what the Wisdom of the Oracle adds to the mix. So it's this deck here. I also pre-shuffled this one. Here we're just looking for one card, and then we'll wrap up. Okay, got one already. All right. You guys got Here and Now. There's the artwork, and the number is 32. Okay, it says, being fully present in the moment, living one day at a time. The Oracle's message: everything happens in the now, in the present. Only this moment counts. You have what it takes to handle anything today if you let go of the need to look into the future or reflect on the past. Be present and notice what is going on right now. This very moment has the potential for you to create miracles in your life. So interesting message there. I do have to say, as far as the whole thing of being present, I don't necessarily feel like you guys were there in the past. Like I was saying with that Ace of Arrows, I kind of got that up in the clouds feeling a bit where, maybe you had that epiphany, but not necessarily acting on it. And even with the Fortune card in the present, it's kind of like you might be a little bit in between where, like I said, I feel like the confidence might be coming back for you guys, but you still might kind of be up in the clouds a little bit as well. But I will say with the Queen of Coins in a future position, to me, that's definitely an energy that represents being in the present, right? So if you're not quite there yet, it looks like you will get there soon. So hopefully that resonated with you guys. The relationship message says it's easy to yearn for a love affair or a friendship you may not have right now, one that is more romantic, more fun, more reliable, more passionate. The good old days are gone and a new day has dawned. Let your heart trust that you have everything you need right now, whether you have the relationship you desire or not. Tomorrow is beyond your reach. Yesterday cannot return. The now is all that is available to you. Stay present and aware that in this moment, as you cherish and approve of your beautiful self, you are a magnet for love. Spirit is madly in love with you right now. Did you know that? Turn to Spirit to feel the joy of love in the here and now. So interesting message there as far as the here and now. I do have to say, like I said, in the present energy, it definitely looks like this person's fully into it. So there is that. And maybe that's even what it's encouraging you to do too, is just be present, right? And then that could actually get things off the ground with you guys. Like maybe this could represent some overthinking on your parts. But yeah, and I feel like I said, if this is just strictly a confidence thing, I do see that coming up for you guys soon with the Queen of Coins in the future. So we'll wrap up there, guys. Once again, happy birthday, and I'll talk to you guys next month. All right, bye.